afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to the respective participants and the incredible speakers. I'm so grateful to welcome you all to the webinar about the Pride community to know about their issues and challenges, LGBTQ rights, and more acceptance of LGBTQ community. A very special thanks to Wings Within Foundation to organize this valuable webinar to understand their struggles and creating awareness in the society to accept them as one of us. We are very glad to have an amazing person who has selflessly working towards this community, Mr. Felix, Director of Wings Within Foundation. We love to welcome you, sir. Being different isn't a bad thing. It means you are brave enough to be yourself. Let's welcome our wonderful speakers for the webinar. Roopa Suresh, who is advocating for the allyship, who has been supporting the LGBTQ community to get their needs and rights. Eliya Logeshwaran, the trans woman, member of LGBTQ community, who has working as a investigation specialist. Great pleasure to having you here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Uma. I'm a clinical psychologist from Wings Within Foundation. We all know June month is dedicated towards a Pride community. So, Wings Within Foundation also giving a contribute to helping the proud community. So, it's a working towards the empowerment and life skills who is a different humans and as well as the LGBTQ community. So Wings Within Foundation is giving a contribution like, for example, conducting the pre-webinars, conducting the pre-counselors, counseling sessions, and conducting the online webinars, online rally. So for providing the support, today we like to conduct the one webinar for a Pride community. Pride is a celebration of identity, gender, race, and sexuality, and every other minority. So in current generation, we know that people with various sexual orientation, they had to face multiple discrimination in the society as well as in the workplace, go through lot of discrimination and stigmas from last decades. That's why it's a very important to support them in the LGBTQ community. When we are supporting the LGBTQ community, main thing we need to be know in-depth knowledge about the what is LGBTQ, what is the problems they are facing, and what is the current facilities available for them, and as well as as an individual in a allyship, what is our each person's role. For conducting the main aim of the webinar is to reflect their struggles, mainly educate on ourselves as well as our community to support the LGBTQ community. So today we have a wonderful speakers. One is Eliya Logeshwaran. She is an investigation specialist. Today she has spoken about the acceptance of the LGBTQ community. And one more is Roopa Suresh. She is a allyship. Today she has spoken about the importance of allyship in a way community and as well as LGBTQ rights in India. So I hope that today inspire ideas and discussion around the ways that we can make our city in a better place. And once again, welcome to all. Thank you.
To everyone present here. I'm Manya from Wings Within. Today I'll be talking a bit about sex and gender. Both these terms are very commonly used every day, but we also find that people are using these terms interchangeably. However, it is important to understand that these terms are distinct and have different meanings. Sex is what is assigned at birth to the individual and consists of the biological differences that exist between males and females. And they're most commonly understood in terms of physical features like sexual organs. In contrast, gender is what is the characteristics of individuals that are socially, culturally, and intellectually constructed, such as behaviors, feelings, roles, etc., that are based on social norms and functioning. Now, another important thing to know is gender identity, which is the individual's own subjective experience of gender and does not necessarily need to conform to the sex of the individual. There exist various gender identities like transgender, non-binary, agender, among the many others. And there are differences in transgender individuals' identities that stem from a variety of reasons, including genetics, hormonal influences, and other environmental factors. And even though these differences are completely natural, We are well aware of how many people are facing difficulties due to their differing identities. Many transgender people do not receive enough support from their family or from any other institution, neither in terms of acceptance of their identity nor in terms of help with transitioning. Consequently, they face many difficulties by this act of being othered. They're denied basic respect, do not get access to many opportunities like education or jobs, even though they are competent for the same, simply due to their gender identity. How can we help them is a question that arises. This webinar will help us understand some steps that we can take to help them.
Spoke really well, and I think you made our job very easy. You laid the foundation. So we're going to build on that, myself and Eliya. Eliya is from the community, so obviously you will get to hear it from the first hand.
Right.
By profession, I am senior manager communication and employee engagement, and by passion, I am an ally, also part of the employee resource group that we have set up. I with my friends from the community who are my colleagues, we set up this employee resource group in Standard Chartered Bank for SE, that's known as SE Pride India, and we work to this is a platform where allies like me and people from the community like Eliya, and we have very senior person Dharmarajan, who's very senior and is a gay out person. We have formed this to create a safe space for our employees where they will come to us if they are going through any stress. We have made couple of policy changes and gender neutral washrooms, so a lot of things that we will be speaking about that will that makes a difference to this community. I'll hand it back to Eliya.